Warning, this podcast contains Mr. Freeze. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for Gotham, Season 2, Episode 12, Mr. Freeze. I'm yours, Dom. With me, my co-host, Nikki.
Hi.
And my co-host, John. You excited?
Oh, it's me. Yeah, I am.
Gotham is back.
So great.
Oh, I didn't realize how much I missed the show until I missed the show when this episode came back. And in the meantime, while the show has been off the air, right, I've decided I have no more issues with the show.
Because it's like Earth 33.
Yeah, like, because everything, which, granted, it's not the same show, network, anything like this, but The Flash has been kind of spoilers, but not really. It's been experimented with parallel universes and alternate Earths and, like, all this stuff and in the DC verse, and they're tying, like, the 1990s TV show series of The Flash into, like, the current Flash just by having alternate Earths where, like, all these different things happen. And because of that, I've now accepted anything that happens on this show is completely canon because it's just an alternate Earth. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
Really reconciles that easy.
It does. So, I mean, I granted that's a big thing of the DC universe, you know, in general, is all alternate Earths, Crisis on Infinite Earth, and, you know, all this crazy stuff, but it's just like, when the TV show Flash started doing that, it just made everything DC okay with me from now on, and I'm actually, I hate to say it, but I'm starting to lose interest in Marvel because of it. DC TV is just way better for me right now. DC TV is better than Marvel movies for me right now. It's just probably because there's more. It is, but there's more DC TV for me. Like, between this amazing show, we have this, we have Flash, we have Arrow, we have Legends of Tomorrow, we have Supergirl. Like, yeah, that's 5 shows where Marvel, we have Carter and S.H.I.E.L.D. and Daredevil and Jessica Jones, and Daredevil and Jessica Jones are very sporadically involved, and I don't know, it's just, there's just more in my face for DC right now, and I think that's why I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I love the whole Netflix format for Daredevil and Jessica Jones and everything. I love being able to sit and binge watch them, but I think spreading them out would impact them better. Like, you would have the same feeling as the DC TV shows going on, because, you know, we're not watching them in one big block.
Yeah.
I just think that would, you know, maybe spread out our feelings a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, and I can't compare because this is the only DC show I watch.
Right.
Fortunately. So, you know, I do, like you said, I do enjoy the format more for Jessica Jones and Daredevil because it's just like, I have it all. It's right here. I can have it. And it's, you know, genuinely movie quality stuff. Whereas, you know, this is a show. There's going to be some
episodic
highs and lows and whatnot. So
yeah, I don't know. To me, I think that the reason I enjoy the TV show format more than the movies is because the TV shows, every single episode feels like an individual comic book for me.
Okay, yeah.
And this is the comic book format, so the DC's just killing it. They're killing it. But anyway, this half of the season of Gotham is dubbed Wrath of the Villains.
I like that they're doing, like, subtitles.
Yeah. So, it was Rise of the Villains before, and now it's Wrath of the Villains. So,
they mad now.
Yeah, we will see. The episode starts off with the aftermath of the Gallivan murder. We see Jim Gordon on trial, basically getting his statement, and he lies right to everybody's face.
Yeah.
What are they doing with Gordon? Why are they making Gordon such an unlikable character?
I don't know, man. He's like, because honestly, he's like such a bad cop.
He's the worst.
Is he really unlikable, though?
I don't like him. I loved Jim Gordon in the comics. I loved Jim Gordon in like the cartoons in, you know, the movies. Like this Jim Gordon, I don't like him. I don't like him at all.
Yeah, I
There's
mean that was the
nothing
thing.
redeeming about him to me. I spend more time enjoying like Nigma and Penguin than, you know, than I do
They are
Gordon.
so cute. Just saying, they're the best little buddies, and they're so cute. I just want to pinch their cheeks.
Sure, they are. It's not. Yeah, I mean, I mean, Cleo kind of saying it already. Like he's not like unlikable, but he's not the same Jim Gordon, that
Yeah.
we've come to expect.
Right.
Because Jim Gordon, in many tellings of his story, has been historically tipped by the corrupt and whatnot, but he, he always kind of came out of it. Like he saw like a moral quandary and kind of came out on the other side and said, you know what, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not participating in this way, like this side of the law. But this Jim was started like that, now is getting to be like the moral quandary guy, and there's like, oh god, what do? I have to stop the villains. And to a degree, in a world that doesn't have Batman yet, you do have to do things the wrong way to stop these psychopaths. So I can't blame him, because like, what the hell was he going to do with Galavan? Arrest him
Exactly.
again? Like,
The,
what the
the
hell's going to
Caliban
happen?
situation was way too big. He had to take those drastic measures to win,
No,
basically.
he didn't. He didn't. Penguin was already so upset over the death of his mother. Penguin could have killed him. Gordon didn't need to do it. He could have left it in Penguin's hands, had no blood on his hands whatsoever, and you damn well know Penguin would have killed him. You can't even say Penguin might have let him go. He wouldn't have. He killed
I'm not saying
Penguin's
that
mother.
he let him go. It's Caliban, he was slippery. And Penguin was being reckless. He wasn't really thinking things through. Galavan could have easily slipped out of his hands. Gordon was there as, like, he was the backup. He was making sure
Penguin
that
loved his
Galavan
mother
was
more
done.
than anything, and the way Penguin's been operating, there is no way Penguin would have let him slip out of his hands or his flippers. I don't know. And then you get like Penguin. He ends up arrested. Right? He gets locked up in Gotham PD. Gordon's all worried now that his big lie isn't going to be corroborated, but Penguin still honors their kind of agreement. Their non-verbal agreement.
Yeah. Don't say nothing or I'll blow your fucking brains out.
Yeah. So I don't know why is Penguin corroborating the story?
I mean, what does he have to gain at this point
What does
by
he have
selling?
to lose?
Well, what I'm saying is that if he doesn't, he still has Jim in his pocket. To a degree, and perhaps he was thinking of using that to get out of something in the future. Because if he sells him out, he removes Jim from the equation, because Jim's going to jail for the rest of his fucking life. We know that.
Right.
If he tells. So he would rather, I think, have a very well-known police officer, or detective rather, kind of in his corner. So maybe he's playing the long game.
Very well could be.
That was my thought. I don't know. So I was like,
No,
oh god, he's gonna do it.
it makes a lot of sense. Penguin, he was pretty much doing the long con from the very beginning of the season, like the series. He took over Fish, eventually, Falcone and Macaroni.
Macaroni.
I mean, he overcame all of those obstacles, and it took a while. So, I mean, it would make sense that he would try and keep Gordon on the side so that he can possibly not use him, but yeah, use him later on, I guess.
Yeah.
I can't really think of a better word than use right now.
Yeah. And then you have Nigma like sneaking in messages to him, like goes up to the file cabinet and it's like, don't talk to me, don't look at me, just be quiet, we're not supposed
Really
to talk.
loud, like obvious. Psst.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Psst.
Psst. Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
Shh. Good, how are you? Psst. You know, like they're not whispering at all. It's like you guys saw a couple episodes of Psych, right?
I have no.
No? Never? Psych, they'll be like standing in front of people talking, and then they'll just like Gus and Sean will turn around, turn their backs to them, and just have like a full conversation, like they're in secret, like nobody could hear them, and the people are standing like in the back, like, what are you doing? You know, it's like,
Hear you.
yeah, it's like that.
Okay.
It's just like everybody can hear the conversation. I don't know, but you know, he asks Nigma to go to his mother's grave, and she enjoys the lilies. You know, just keep the place clean, take care of it. So, I wonder how much Nigma's gonna be involved in like crime stuff from here. Like, is he gonna get into organized crime, or is he still like on his own like little murders? Like, we see him angry. We see him like freak out, like when Harvey Bullock, when Bullock crushes or calls him a name or whatever, and he crushes the rose.
Mm-hmm.
So we see he's still got some tendencies going on, but we didn't see him do anything this episode.
No, but I mean, now Gordon knows, like, what the fuck were you doing? Like, what? And what's with all the anger problems? Because, I think Gordon's starting to realize, like, he is. Well, obviously he knows, like, he's not all these cracked up to be because he's involved with the Penguin, but, like, that's why he kind of told Harvey, why don't you respect the man this time?
Yeah. I wonder if he's gonna try pulling anything on Harvey.
I sure hope not. It's not going to end well for him.
It's not gonna end well for either of them.
No.
So, but in the meantime, Penguin gets transferred to Arkham.
It's hilarious.
It was. I am the king of Gotham.
I'm the king of Gotham. No, I am. It's the best.
Yeah, everybody in there is certifiably insane. Yeah.
It's like a crazy stack of dominoes. Just
Yeah.
push one, they all start going crazy.
Not entirely unrealistic.
No, not really. And that's when we meet Hugo Strange.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
Mr. B.D. Wong.
Mhm.
Showing up as a doctor and everything.
Right? All I could think of the whole time was
Jurassic Park.
yeah.
And then, like, Law and Order, he was, like, the psychiatrist or whatever. So, like, he's just typecast as, like, the doctor.
Well, like in the comics and stuff, Hugo Strange was never the psychiatrist for Arkham. It was never alluded to anything like that. However, in the Arkham video games, I think it was Arkham Knight actually, his character bio alluded to the fact that he was a psychiatrist in Arkham. So it seems like they're just borrowing a little bit from every kind of source material, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And
So I remember he knew your identity in Arkham City. Because he was like, "Hi, bros. How you doing?"
yeah,
So
and almost because
he always knows Batman's.
Hugo Strange was one of the very first reoccurring Batman villains from the comics, like predating Catwoman, predating the Joker. Like Hugo Strange was the first major reoccurring character.
Yeah.
So really interesting to see them bring that in, and then to tie him to Indian Hill.
It's just mind blowing.
I mean, he's always been, involved in experiments and things with weather conditions and, science and stuff like that. Because I remember, I don't remember now if it was the comic or the cartoon when he started making the fog machine to rob banks and stuff.
I think that was the animated series, right?
Was it? Yeah, it might have been. So he's always been into like these weird, crazy, wacky experiments to begin with. So.
And my God, it worked. See no evil.
Yeah.
And what better place to have your test subjects than an insane asylum where nobody's going to call you out for that shit because the guy rips his own eyes out? Well, he was just insane. You know?
He knows the wiles of a madman.
Yeah. So, Cleo's saying that was from the comics.
Oh.
So,
I don't know.
he may have done it in the animated series too, but
Yeah, who knows?
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the comics. Because I did read a fair number of Batman comics in my day. I don't own any of them anymore, but that's kind of sad. We used to go up to Vermont, like flea market swap meets and stuff like that all the time. I'd go to like old comic book shops. I used to get them all the time. So
I got this one I gotta read.
nice. Nice. So while Penguin is locked up in Arkham, we see Butch kind of in charge of things.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really, really awkward.
He replaced his hook mallet for a screwdriver, like an actual mechanical.
He reminds me of from the Robin Williams Hook. Of Captain Hook, how he's got like all these little attachments for the hook. You know, it's like, oh, like let's put it out and put an electric toothbrush in. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
you could just hold a toothbrush in your other hand and brush them probably a lot faster than it would have taken to like change out the whole device.
Mm-hmm.
But
No, see, when Gallivan and Sister showed up, I was waiting for them to like, wait, let me fetch the French tickler attachment. Hold on, excuse me.
God. Yeah. So, what's up with Tigers? What is she up to?
She wants to just get with the guy who's going to be in charge next.
She's addicted to the power. She likes to be able to do what she wants to do, and I don't know, yeah, like be connected to the guy that's in charge because it's just something she's always done.
Yeah, I mean, when her brother failed, she's, Butch is like, no, I don't want anything to do with that. You saw he was about to drill her brain out.
Mm-hmm.
She was up on that. She's like, no way. Just
No.
She was up on that.
Yeah, she just mounted him and went to town.
Yep. She's like, you know what? I didn't find you attractive until about, I don't know, 10 minutes ago, so... Until I found out you were in charge.
More or less. And then you have, like, Catwoman. You have Selena, like, creepily watching through the vents. Like, what is that girl doing? Like, does she ever sleep? Where... She just watches everybody?
She's just figuring out what sex is.
She's everywhere.
Seemingly. Yeah, I don't know how the hell, A, she's there, and B, when she sleeps. I have no idea. It's like, I don't know what her next move is.
She probably just takes cat naps.
I mean, wasn't the last time we saw her, she was walking away with Bruce, so maybe she's doing all this reconnaissance for Bruce, because he's really wanting to find out about his parents now. It was like right there. It was in his hands.
There was a very large lack of Bruce this episode.
Oh, yes.
Yep. You know what? I hardly noticed. I kind of forgot about him.
I did too until like I'm preparing to do the podcast here, and I'm just kind of like, all right, what are we going to talk about? I got loose notes over here, and then I'm like looking through. I'm like, Bruce was not in this episode. Jeez. So
I had a lot of gym to do, which I'm okay with.
Yeah, there was quite a bit of gym, but more importantly was Victor Fries.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Fries?
It was Fries.
Fries.
Victor Fries.
It's Fries. I'm good at this sort of thing.
I know names.
Are you?
I love that they interviewed Nora later, and on the way out the door, Harvey's just like, is it Fries or Fries? Or no, he goes, how do you pronounce your last name? And she's like, Fries. And then he's just like, see, I told you.
So.
It's like, and it was like the most inappropriate times, just because she's like, I'm dying. My husband's trying to save me.
Right?
Please be nice to him. And then he's just like, by the way, couldn't let that go.
No. And I mean, we all know the story of Nora Freeze, like how, she's dying and he cryogenetically freezes her. He's trying to, stop. I mean, if you ever seen Batman and Robin, like, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger nails it. Yeah, like nails it. That's the best Mr. Freeze ever.
Huh.
No, but I'm glad that they kind of took the roots for Mr. Freeze here almost from the animated series.
Pretty much like note for note.
Yeah. Even
They
the
didn't
look.
change that.
The look is very animated series too.
Yeah.
Like his getup or him with
Yeah. No,
the
yeah,
costume?
the costume, like the character's background, like everything about this, other than like I mean, we haven't seen what turns him into the cold person yet. Like, we understand why he's using the freeze gun, because he's trying to freeze Nora so he could wake her up later when he finds a cure for the disease. But he's not in the full suit yet.
No.
But we know it's coming because last episode, the finale ended with him in the full suit. So that was kind of like a flash forward. So we're not really at that point yet. So I don't know. What'd you guys think of Mr. Freeze?
He seems super mellow. I'm gonna say super mellow loosely because he's not like psychotic.
He's not psychotic?
Not
What about all the rats in his basement?
okay. I'm comparing psychotic to like Penguin, or like he's just not at that level yet. And then you see it progresses through the episode where he actually freezes the pharmacist. Like,
I would have fucking killed that
he's-
pharmacist too.
he started out like legit. I was like, he's doing these things for his wife, and then there's some bodies in the basement that's to be expected. He's a
Even though the pharmacist was not wrong, because that is 100% procedure, it was his fucking attitude that I would have done the same thing that Victor did. Same thing. If I was in the boat, like if I had the freeze gun, oh my god, I would have been back there so fast.
I mean, I think I'm really liking Victor because he just seems not so crazy right now. Mainly because of the scene where the pharmacist crawls out into the PD and he's in his rags, and you see Victor like, I'm out. See ya.
It's like it worked,
It
because
worked.
we saw opening up. We saw with him with what was it, A14, A13, because it was A16 that ended up working. A14, I think it was, or A15. I don't even know now.
It was A14.
Yeah, and it just melted the guy into like a puddle of liquid humanness, and I was just like, I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm watching it drip off the side of like the table that he sat on and puddling onto the floor, and I'm just looking at it like, okay, this is your 15th attempt at this, and you don't have a catch basin?
Oh, maybe it's different
Yeah.
every time. Like with every solution, every different combination he uses, it's probably got a different effect in the end.
I
Like
don't.
maybe that was the first time it
I
actually
don't think so.
liquefied and
I don't
poured
think
all over
so.
the floor.
Like you're gonna freeze someone and then thaw them out. Their internal organs are gonna melt like that. That's pretty accurate.
Ugh.
It's gonna happen.
I mean,
I mean, I've never frozen anyone and de-thawed them before. So
I'm glad I wasn't eating soup at the time. I will
or
say that.
or like a thick stew.
Yeah,
You know.
that was a good meal not to have.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, you think you'd be prepared for that sort of thing, but
Yeah, you would have thought. I mean, especially like if you're working out of your basement and your wife is upstairs.
you don't want that on the floor. You got to
No.
mop. Hey,
Yeah. Too much work.
Hmm.
I to answer Cleo's question in chat, why would a small ass pharmacy have a security guard? It is a small ass pharmacy in Gotham.
In
And
Gotham,
it's a security
yes.
guard.
The in Gotham bar. I don't know, because I think we take for granted our pharmacies around here are in like big chains, like like a Walmart or a Walgreens or
Yeah,
Target, something like that. But I feel like if there was an actual, just like a pharmacy store, due to the nature of people coming in for like Oxy and things like that, and you're prone to robberies. You really are. Like, especially where we're more used to seeing them where they're behind glass, right?
yeah.
They're almost always behind glass. There was no glass. You could have walked over the other side of that counter if you wanted to. That's probably why they needed a security guard. They should probably just invest in some glass. But
Or heaters, really good heaters.
yeah. No, Clay, I'm not. She's saying that that's not how freezer burn happens, that somebody would not melt like that. But
It's not
it's the
freezer burn, though.
combination of the formula that he's using to try to
chemicals.
stabilize it, the chemicals, and like a person, like you keep a person intact like that, like you freeze them and thaw them, and then all their organs and you have like their stomach acid and all the stuff inside that is just loose and flowing around in there to decompose your organs and deteriorate everything. It's gonna liquefy. That stuff is 100% gonna liquefy. The skin and everything probably wouldn't melt like that, so to say, but with stomach acid involved and everything, it wouldn't like melt your face, but your sides, your stomach and stuff like that, like your stomach region would more than likely melt similar to that. Maybe not all the skin going with it, but the organs would definitely melt like that. So
Hey, it looked cool.
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Whatever. Storytelling, it's great. Let's just keep it going.
But I did like that we got to see his relationship with Nora.
Yeah.
That was really nice. And it wasn't like a flashback. We get to see them really just being a couple.
Mm-hmm.
And you really do get, because I think in a lot of portrayals of Mr. Freeze, it's without that context of like, yes, we know the classic story. He's always trying to save Nora from the virus or the disease that she has, and he works tirelessly to cure her. But you never get to see them being just the beforehand, their life together, and that was really nice.
Yeah, and every storytelling that I've ever seen Freeze and Nora's already frozen and he's talking to her when she's frozen. There's no back and forth, there's no connection. It's just you assume that they were really close at that point.
I think very briefly she was in like the early part of the animated series, like one episode.
Yeah.
But it was very short-lived.
It makes him seem less crazy.
Yeah.
I like, and I know that sounds weird, but like she became more of a person. And I could see like she they really do love each other, and I really found myself empathizing with him a lot more than I ever have. It's like, geez, it's like, would I do that?
Maybe that's exactly
I might
why
do that.
I say I feel like he's less crazy because I got to see the interaction with Nora, and it just feels like he's more human than the rest of them.
Watching him snap when he's like, "Why didn't you tell me you were out of this?" And she's like, "I have so many, I can't keep track." At that point, when you're on that many different types of pills, you need those like weekly containers that have like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday on them.
Have those.
Fill them up with whatever you gotta have, and then you'll know exactly how many are left. That way you're not pulling open 30 different bottles one at a time. You'll never know when you're running out that way.
Yeah, and I do feel.
Damn you, Earth 33, for not having common logic.
Yeah. Stupid Earth 33. But like you really felt bad for her because she just is like ready to give up as it is. She's like, I can't keep doing this. Like, she's clearly in a lot of pain and scrambling through medications, and you never feel good when you're on that many medications, regardless of your condition. And
never.
It really sucks. It's a really bad situation. And like I said, I was actually like thinking to myself after that episode, I was like, would I do that? I might do that. Like, I don't know. I can't say that I wouldn't. Like with 100% certainty. Like I would consider freezing her.
Yeah,
Hmm.
but I mean,
Watch
so
out, Chrissy.
is is
Freeze you.
the is the act of freezing her what is or act of freezing the person what's killing them, or is it what he's waking them up to?
Uh, I I don't know. I think it was a little bit of both
It had
because
to be something.
whatever worked on the pharmacist is clearly like, okay, that's the one. He knows that's safe to use, so like when he can thaw her out, he knows that's exactly the formula I need to use for the freeze gun.
Okay, so it's the formula that freezes pre-freeze because he didn't inject the chemical into
That's right. Yeah,
the
that
pharmacist.
might have just been like an IV or something. I don't
Well, no, because
know.
he changed. Because you remember just before he froze the guy, he changed the
Yeah,
vial out and he said,
that's
"You're gonna
right.
help me," whatever. So, yeah, it
Yeah,
seems like that. But he was also injecting them with something when he was trying to wake him up in the lab.
It wasn't it just a fluid like saline or something? Because they've been frozen, and it's putting like a room temperature fluid into them, just probably to help circulate things.
that could be it, just to expedite the process.
Yeah. Um. Did they say exactly what her disease was?
No.
Blood coffee uppy disease.
Yeah.
It's definitely
'Cause
something in the lungs.
yeah, because it's always something different. Like they name it. I think in the Arnold Schwarzenegger one, it was like McGregor's syndrome or something.
Yeah,
Something like that, and then I don't. It's like
it's a
stage
syndrome.
4 McGregor syndrome or something.
It's like a
Um,
syndrome where you turn into Ewan McGregor slowly.
yes, yes.
That's a
Um,
horrible disease.
Hmm.
hmm Yeah, I don't know. So I don't think they ever said what the terminal illness was in the animated series. Could be wrong on that. Uh,
I mean,
I don't remember what it was in
huh.
the comics either. To be
it
completely honest.
it almost doesn't matter,
Yeah.
because like she has to just be sick. But the interesting thing is like in the New 52 storyline, that's where they completely changed the freeze story,
hmm
and
Yeah, they had him like accidentally douse himself in
yeah, that it was
cryogenic
that,
chemicals and all that.
and he didn't actually knew he doesn't even know who Nora is.
Mm.
She was already like in that continuation, she was already cryogenically frozen,
hmm
and he fell in love with her while working in the lab and like made this whole backstory up about them, which
Gotcha.
was like way crazier.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I was thinking that Gotham was going to do something like that, which I would have been fine with because I would have been like, we could have seen that vision, on the show. But like, I'm okay with the way this turned out for sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, I liked it. This is outside. I think the animated series so far is my best, my favorite Mr. Freeze. Um, but the Gotham one here is definitely a close second for me.
It makes me wonder, like, is he actually going to get caught at all, or is he just going to run on a rampage for till Batman shows up?
I don't know. I have a
Because
feeling they're going to catch almost everybody eventually.
and they're just going to break
I
out
don't.
of Arkham.
That's what
I don't know
happens in
if
Arkham all
like.
the time. They always
Yeah.
break out.
Well, now that Hugo Strange is in charge, it's very
Yeah,
easy.
I was gonna say. I don't think the PD's gonna catch him. I think Hugo's gonna get a hold of him.
Hugo's already looking for him.
Exactly.
So that might be how Victor gets his research funded. Is Hugo's gonna bribe him with that for the ability to freeze things? Because Hugo's looking for that for reasons unknown. Indian Hill projects.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I'm really interested. And then did you guys notice a side note in the opening during the Jim Gordon confession like statement? There's an owl statue in the back.
Whoa, was there?
There was. It had its
I
wings
did not
open.
see that.
Yeah, it had the wings open. It wasn't like standing like the regular kind of owl. It was just like it almost looked like a falcon, so it may have actually been a falcon. But I saw owl when I saw it.
Oh boy.
But Is that more
Go
reference
back
to?
and watch that.
Is that more reference to the Court of Owls? So.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I wouldn't mind either. They go right ahead and do that. Oh boy!
I know John's been reading Court of Owls, in the comics, so
Oh yeah,
he's really excited.
I mean, I'm up to the 7th volume of the New 52 Batman, and it wrapped right back around. Came right back. I was like, oh boy, Court of Owls. They know it would be. They gotta, if they really play their cards right and really drag the Owls out, they can make it become really amazing. A later season.
I'd like to see that for season 3.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind just a little tiny bits of it. Just throw a little guy from the 1860s at us who was an assassin for hundreds of years. Let's do that.
Tease us a little bit.
And though Nikki is not very well versed with the Court of Owls, she just likes owls. So
yeah, I'm excited because it's just owls.
I mean, is your purse nearby? No. She's got a crazy purse with an angry owl on it.
3 owl purses.
Jeez. Okay.
Bless you.
Thanks.
Does you guys have anything else for this episode before we go into next week's synopsis?
Ed's reaction to the missing body on his table.
Oh God. He just walks in and he's like,
he looks under the table.
It's like, where'd the corpse go? I shouldn't have to ask that question.
oh.
We're The Walking Dead for a minute.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all I got now.
Next week's episode is called A Dead Man Feels No Cold. As Gordon Bullock and Barnes continue to search for Victor Fries, they are forced to look at his wife Nora for help. Meanwhile, Penguin is introduced to Hugo Strange, and Alfred reveals some crucial information to Bruce about his parents' murderer. Or his parents' murderer, I should say. So, Penguin was already introduced to Hugo Strange, so I don't know why we're saying that he's introduced now. It's a little weird. But maybe introduced on a criminal level, as opposed to just a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Could be like, hey, come in my secret elevator, and I got some stuff to show you. Maybe we could cut out a deal, since you're the king of Gotham and all. Yeah, but Nora was very adamant to not help the police locate her husband. So
it's so sad. It really is.
There's a large chance she didn't know. She
didn't know.
I don't think she did.
She didn't know. Did you see her reaction when she saw what the rats actually looked like in the basement?
Yeah.
She just sat there dumbfounded. Like, the police go in on their own. Like, she didn't call them. They went there after finding the pills. They go and raid the house or whatever, and she's still sitting there just staring at them. So.
I mean, I also wanted to say that judging from what might be happening to the Penguin, maybe he'll become more like deformed and grotesque, like the Penguin that we know is, in some way. Maybe they'll do more shit to him.
Other than Danny DeVito Penguin, I really don't know how deformed the Penguin could get.
Yeah. I mean that's what I was kind of thinking. It was like, because it looks like they're going to fuck with him a lot.
Yeah, but also you got to remember, like, the original Batman, the Adam West TV, it wasn't even the original, but the Adam West TV series, Penguin wasn't deformed at all.
That's true.
So they don't necessarily have to go with the deformed route. Like the Penguin, they've already established it's just a nickname. He's got the limp. He's got some characteristics of a penguin. I don't think they need to go any further than that. Mm-hmm. So, he doesn't have deformed fingers. He didn't grow up birth defects, so it's not like the Danny DeVito telling.
Maybe just the monocle.
The monocle would be cool.
Sure.
Yeah. I agree. He needs the monocle. We got to get him a top hat. do something with that
I mean, he's
hair.
already got the penguin suit. He doesn't really need to go the full way.
We got to do something with that hair.
Yeah. 2000s boy band look is not going to cut it for the rest of his life.
But he wants it that way.
In the episode.
Nikki, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
I'm gonna get a lot of hair gel, and I'm gonna come back with the penguin look. Nikki, I might have to borrow a hair straightener or something. Get that going too. Just so I can really get it flat like he's got it. John, where can the people find you?
You can find me at No More on Twitter, hating boy bands, I guess. I don't know.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM. You can also find us all on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, Space, and right here on YouTube. It's almost like I have a smoker's cough. It's not true at all. MySpace, and right here on YouTube at /ASOTV podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, video games, and movies. Until next week. See you guys later.
Bye.
There's no escape. The nightmare. It continues.
I want it that way.